So you got the call, the resume worked. Now you're going for the interview. All right, hopefully, obviously, please dress professionally, arrive a few minutes early, make sure your phone is on silent, things like that. Like, hopefully you know that by now. And definitely Google the company, organization, hospital, whatever, to know kind of like what they're doing, what kind of programs they have, so you're able to, one, also hear from them, but also to be able to ask questions. I'm going to tell you the most common thing as a field liaison that I hear when the field instructor tells me why they didn't offer the student the placement. They didn't ask me any questions. Number one thing that I've heard the most this year. And so please come prepared asking questions, because it looks like you are involved in the whole process and wanting to know more information, and that you're somebody that they want working for you. Be prepared to answer common interview questions, why you're a good fit for the position, be ready for, I also recommend having some examples, whether they were within your field placement or a previous job, of some kind of things where you have been able to get over obstacles or find creative solutions, things like that. You might want to have some ideas in your head, because those are the kind of questions that may get thrown at you that you may be like, holy cow, I didn't think about that one, kind of thing. And so at least if you have some scenarios that you have, maybe your field instructor or previous supervisor said, oh, that was a great job that you did on that, or you did some great work with that client, or thanks for helping us in that way. Those are great things to add to it. Lots of you probably get some questions about describing your ideal supervisor or what you look for in supervision. Please do not say hands off. I have been told that multiple times. Someone who doesn't micromanage me. Those words are like, do not help you, and everything like that, because you think about how that comes off. If you're saying that you want the freedom to be able to be creative in your workforce, then say those kind of things. I had this great use an example. I had this great supervisor who allowed me to be creative and come up with my own ideas in order to be meeting the population's needs and stuff like that. When easily you say, I just don't want anybody to micromanage me. Like when people say micromanage, a lot of times it just really turns you off. So I highly recommend, if that is something that you're looking for, more freedom and stuff like that, come up with a different way of saying it and stuff. Make sure that you're listening to the questions completely and everything, because sometimes, I know for myself, I'm thinking while they're talking, and sometimes, and as a good social worker, we should be listening completely. I know that isn't always, especially if you're nervous, not always the easiest thing to do, but make sure you listen to the scenario or the question or whatever completely before answering, and don't be afraid to take a minute to think about your answer or what you're going to say. There's nothing wrong with that. It shows that you're thoughtful and that you care about your response, and doesn't look like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about or he's talking about. You know, definitely talk to your field instructor about like some of what they view of you as your top selling points. It's a great time. You're going to be doing your semester evaluations in the next few weeks. This is a great opportunity to sit down when they're going over that process with you, kind of like, okay, can you help me to be able to articulate some of the things that are great selling points about myself and everything like that? Or can you help me come up with some examples of some great work I have done, which can help you to be able to use those examples when you go on the interview and everything. Talked about the references. There's nothing wrong with asking a reference if they're going to be a good reference for you, not just a reference. Because sometimes people feel bad if they're not a reference, but if they're not going to say positive things about you and make you sound like somebody that you want to work with, you probably don't want to use them and stuff. So there's nothing, as I said, there's nothing wrong with asking those questions. And then after the interview, you get the job, everything, let your reference know that you got the job, thank them for that, and keep in contact with them if you want to use them again. And try not to make the next time you contact them you're looking to get your next job and everything, just to show that that relationship means something to you and stuff. And then one thing that I did think of that comes up, especially in first year field placements, you might have been participating in some type of fundraising or something that may not seem that great. You might have stuffed letters to send out to get more financial assistance or help with a gala or something like that. Those kind of things look good on your resume, because especially if you're going for a nonprofit, everyone needs money. So they're going to need people who can help fundraise and everything like that. If you said that you had a little bit of experience, that might help you to be able, this is another selling point of myself. I've participated in doing a gala and everything like that, and I might be able to help out with your next event and everything. So any questions on interviewing? All right, you guys are gonna do a great job then.